Hello, I'm Joanne and this is Relax for a While. I create soothing videos to help you drift off to sleep. If you enjoy my videos and find them helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. You can also join me on Patreon as a way of supporting the channel. A special thanks goes out to all my wonderful patrons. Your support means the world to me. Tonight, I will be reading the story of Rapunzel, a classic fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm, about a young girl named after a forbidden flower in an enchanted garden. She's locked away in a tower, and the only way she can connect to the outside world is by her exceptionally long, beautiful hair and her sweet, angelic voice. I modified some of the wording and phrases to help create a hypnotic listening experience, and I hope you enjoy the story. And as you begin to settle in, become aware of the surface beneath you, all the places where your body touches the bed. Feel that support beneath you, connecting with that feeling of being held. And now beginning to take a few slow, full breaths, breathing in and holding briefly at the top, and let go. That's right. As you let go of the breath, you can let go and sink down into that surface. That's right. Letting go, letting go, letting go. With each breath out, the feeling of letting go and sinking down becomes easier and easier. With each breath out, feeling more and more relaxed as your back melts deeper down now into your bed, and as your head sinks even deeper now into the softness of your pillow. And as your head relaxes, your neck and shoulders soften. Even your face is more relaxed. Your arms and hands release and let go as they come to rest in whatever way feels most comfortable. Feeling calm and relaxed, you feel safe, you feel held, you feel supported as your hips sink deeper down. And as your legs and feet release and let go, feeling so heavy, so relaxed, feeling more and more at ease in your body, in your mind, going deeper and deeper relaxed. And I will count down now from 10 all the way down to 0. And at the count of 0, you will find yourself in the place where our story begins tonight. That's right. An enchanting garden full of the finest vegetables and the most beautiful flowers. And as you go deeper and deeper down into relaxation, your imagination will take you on a journey, creating for you the beautiful imagery of this lovely tale as you continue to follow my voice, and it will feel as though you have stepped right into the story. That's right. Just as though you're right there, watching from a distance, feeling so relaxed, so peaceful and at ease. And you will drift off to sleep easily and effortlessly, and you will sleep restfully all through the night. 10, 9, 8, down to 7, down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Once upon a time, there lived a man and his wife who loved each other very much. Even though they were content with what they had in their life, they felt disheartened because they had no children. They lived in a cozy house in a small little village in Germany. Their lovely home had a sitting room with a little window at the back of the house, which looked into the most lovely garden, full of beautiful flowers and vegetables. The garden was surrounded by a high stone wall, and no one dared to enter it, for it belonged to an old woman with great power, and who was feared by the entire village. One day, the man's wife stood at the window overlooking the garden and saw there a bed full of the finest rampion. The leaves looked so fresh and green that she longed to eat them. Her craving grew day by day, and because she knew she couldn't possibly get any, she pined away and became very unhappy. Her husband began to worry and said, "What is causing you to feel so sad, dear wife?" "Oh," she answered, "this may seem frivolous, but the rampion in that old woman's garden looks so fresh and enticing that if I don't get some to eat, I will become even more sorrowful, and I feel as though I shall die." The man, who loved her dearly, thought to himself, "My heart breaks to see my lovely bride so sad and disheartened, and so even though it is forbidden to enter the old woman's garden, I will take a chance and fetch her some rampion, no matter the cost." So at dusk, he climbed over the wall, down, down, all the way down, into the old woman's garden, and quickly gathered a handful of rampion leaves, and then swiftly returned home and eagerly gave them to his wife. Her heart leaped for joy at the sight of her handsome husband holding the handful of rampion leaves, and then she delightedly made them into a salad. The salad tasted so good that her longing for the forbidden food became greater than ever. Nothing else other than her husband climbing over the garden wall one more time to fetch some more rampion could bring her peace of mind. So at dusk, over the wall, and down, down, down he went. But when he reached the other side, he drew back in terror, for there, standing before him, was the old woman with an angry scowl on her face. "How dare you," she said, "climb into my garden and steal my rampion like a common thief? Mark my words, you will pay for your foolishness." "Oh," he implored, "pardon my presumption. I was left with no choice but to climb over into your garden and necessity alone drove me to the deed. You see, my wife saw your rampion from her window and became utterly consumed by her desire for it, that she would certainly have died if her wish had not been gratified. After hearing what the man had said, the old woman's anger softened, and she said, "If it's as you say, you may take as much rampion away with you as you like, but on one condition only, that you give me the child your wife will shortly bring into the world. All shall go well with it, and I will look after it like a mother." The man, of course, in his terror, agreed to everything she asked, and as soon as the child was born, the old woman appeared at their door and took the child away. She gave the little girl the name Rapunzel, which is another word for rampion, and she felt satisfied that the name was perfect for the child. Rapunzel was the most beautiful child under the sun. The old woman considered her as her own little treasured possession and did not want to share her with anyone else. So when she was 12 years old, the old woman locked her up in a tower in the middle of a great wood. The tower had neither stairs nor doors, only a small window high up at the very top. Rapunzel had beautiful long hair, and it was as fine as spun gold. When the old woman would visit Rapunzel, she stood underneath the tower and called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Whenever she heard the old woman's voice, she would loosen her plaits and would let her hair flow out of the window, and it would fall down, down, all the way down, about 20 yards below, and the old woman would climb up and get in through the window. After they had lived like this for a few years, it happened one day that a prince was riding through the wood and passed by the tower. As he drew near it, he heard someone singing so sweetly that he stood still and listened. It was Rapunzel, of course, in her loneliness, trying to pass the time by letting her sweet voice ring out into the wood. The prince longed to see the owner of the voice, but his search for a door was in vain, and so he rode home. But he was so haunted by the song he had heard that he returned every day to the wood and listened. One day, when he was standing hiding behind a tree, he saw the old woman approach and heard her call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Then Rapunzel let down her plaits, and then he saw how the woman climbed up by them. "So that's the staircase, is it?" said the prince. "Then I too will climb it and try my luck." So on the following day, at dusk, he went to the foot of the tower and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." And as soon as she had let it down, down, all the way down, the prince climbed up. At first, Rapunzel was terribly frightened when the prince came in, for she had never seen a man before. The prince was so kind-hearted and told her his heart had been so touched by her angelic singing that he would have no peace of mind until he had seen her in person. Rapunzel soon forgot her fear, and when he asked her to marry him, she consented at once, for she thought to herself, He is kind and handsome, and I will be much happier with him than sitting here all alone in this gloomy tower." So she put her hand in his and said, "Yes, I will gladly go with you. Only, how am I to get down out of the tower?" Then, after giving it some thought, she said, "Every time you come to see me, you must bring a skein of silk with you, and I will make a ladder. And when it is finished, I will use it to climb down, down, all the way down, and you will take me away on your horse." They arranged that until the ladder was ready, he was to visit her in the evenings, because the old woman would visit her during the day. The woman, of course, knew nothing of what was going on, until one day Rapunzel turned to her and carelessly said, "How is it, good mother, that you are so much harder to pull up than the young prince? He is always with me in a moment." "Oh, you wicked child," cried the old woman. "What is this I hear? I thought I had hidden you safely from the whole world, and in spite of it, you have managed to deceive me." In her anger, she seized Rapunzel's beautiful hair, wound it round and round her left hand, and then grasping a pair of scissors in her right, snip, snap, off it came, and the beautiful plaits lay on the ground. And, worse than this, she was so mean-hearted that she took Rapunzel far, far away, deeper and deeper into the dark, lonely forest, and left her there to live in loneliness and misery. But on the evening of the day in which she had driven poor Rapunzel away, the cunning old woman fastened the plates onto a hook in the window, and when the prince came and called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," she let them down all the way down, and the prince climbed up as usual. But instead of his beloved Rapunzel, he found the mean old woman, who fixed her evil, glittering eyes on him and cried mockingly, "Aha! You thought you would find your lady-love, didn't you? But the pretty bird has flown, and its song is dumb. The cat caught it, and will scratch out your eyes too. Rapunzel is lost to you forever. You will never see her again." The prince was beside himself with grief, and in his despair he jumped right down from the tower, and, although he escaped with his life, the thorns among which he fell pierced his eyes. Then he wandered, blind and heartbroken, through the wood, eating nothing but roots and berries, and weeping and lamenting the loss of his lovely bride. The blind, unhappy prince wandered lost and aimlessly for years, and vowed that he would never stop looking for his Rapunzel. One day he unknowingly came to the place in the woods where Rapunzel was living, and as he wandered about, he suddenly heard a voice which sounded so beautiful and so familiar to him. He eagerly followed in the direction of the sound, and when he was quite close, Rapunzel recognized him. She immediately ran to him and fell into his arms and wept for joy. Her tears flowed freely, tears of happiness, for she was once again united with the love of her life. Suddenly, 2 of her tears touched his eyes, and they instantly became clear, and he was able to see once again. "Rapunzel, my sweet angel of love, For years I've been searching for you. I promised myself that I would never give up until I found you again. Come with me now, my sweet flower, and I will take you to my kingdom, and there we will live in love and peace for the rest of our lives. And as the prince leads Rapunzel to his kingdom, you watch from a distance, where they are welcomed with great joy, and they live happily together for many, many years. And as you watch Rapunzel and her prince from afar, you are filled with the energy they leave behind, the energy of love, joy, peace, and happiness. And this beautiful, comforting energy surrounds you completely as you continue to walk along the woodland path, leaving this magical scene behind you now, letting it gently fade away into the distance. And the deeper and deeper into the forest you venture, the deeper and deeper into relaxation you fall. It is very peaceful here in Rapunzel's forest, and you feel safe, surrounded by trees and flowers and the fresh air as you breathe. Sounds of leaves rustling through the leaves lull you as the songbirds sing you their lullaby, and you are feeling sleepier and sleepier and sleepier. And from now on, my friend, anytime you need restful sleep, all you have to do is lay down on your comfortable bed and take 3 deep, relaxing breaths. And at the end of each breath, you say the word sleep. And by the 3rd breath, you will find that a pleasant feeling of drowsiness will begin to take over. That's right. Helping you drift deeper and deeper down, feeling sleepier and sleepier and sleepier with each passing moment. Every time you listen to this bedtime story, and every time you hear my voice, it will become easier and easier for you to drift off. You will sleep all night long. And if you happen to awaken through the night, all you have to do, my friend, is take a slow, relaxing breath and reposition yourself under the covers, and you will fall quickly back asleep. And when you awaken, you will feel rested. You will feel refreshed and ready for a brand new day. And now, as I begin to count down from 5 all the way down to 0, with each number I count, you will continue drifting down, down, all the way down, into a sound and restful sleep. 5, down to 4, drifting down to 3, dropping down to 2, down to 1, and all the way down to 0. Now sleep, sleep.